All right, everybody. Welcome to Angel Meadows, a conversation with friends. My guests this evening are Teresa and Jay Lynch. They have their own show. Let me see if I get this right. Sit, chat, and laugh with the Lynches over on my very good favorite station, Paramania Radio. And they have agreed to come on and have a chat with me. I don't know why I even muted you guys. Okay, you're unmuted. I don't have to ask me why I mute people. Maybe because I was afraid what Jay would say when I was introducing him.
And with good reason.
But, yeah. Well, as I said on a Facebook Live, if you do not have a sense of humor, plug your ears and or leave the chat room and or just don't listen to the show, because this is going to be fun. And as I said, Jay can get serious once in a while, but I think that's why Teresa married Jay, so she could sort of calm him down. Not. I don't think
there's nobody that can calm that down.
No. Well, okay, for those people who are in the chat room and listening in the archives and listening all over wherever the heck they all are, tell everybody a little bit about you guys. And ladies first on my show, by the way.
Absolutely.
All right.
You want to start this show? Come on.
We are a husband and wife team.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been married for 30 years, which is why he's mouthy like he is. Huh. He thinks he's safe.
I don't think so.
Right. We started out our paranormal journey.
Adventure?
Yeah, adventure, journey, endeavor, however you want to word it. Just by a fluke, my niece was into...
No, that's not true.
Watching...
You've always been into paranormal. I wasn't.
I said we.
Oh, okay.
I said we.
Touche.
Right?
Shut up, Jay.
We started out the paranormal with a open investigation at a haunted location. We took our niece for her birthday because that was what she really, really wanted to do. She was really into ghost adventures at the time. And we have been hooked ever since. Jay's more the skeptic, the tech person, and I'm more of I do stones and crystals, and I do energy healing. I just did a phenomenal 101 isolation session.
Yeah, she just did an isolation session, and of course, we was at one of our favorite little places. It's 101 in Winchester, Indiana, and we have been there a few times now. And there's a location that Teresa didn't like there in the basement, and so I challenged her to do a isolation session in that area. Being that I'm the way that I am, I like to push the envelope, but not to the point of being dangerous with other people. I will put myself in danger. I won't put other people in danger. Anyway,
that's true.
I won't.
That's true.
Okay, Jennifer, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Yes, there is a chat room. This is the chat room. Okay, so first,
she typed in the chat room, didn't she?
Yes, she just did. I know. This is it.
All right. That kind of confused me.
It's okay. No, it's Jennifer. When I talk, Jennifer used to be one of my co-hosts on one of my other shows, and when you talk and you forget to unmute yourself, or when I do it, I call it a Jennifer because she was very good at doing that. I'd ask her a question on the show, and it would be dead silence. I go, Jennifer, unmute yourself.
We've been doing shows now for about 4 years, and I still catch myself every once in a while. I'll turn my mic off, and I'll be doing something else, and Teresa or someone asks me a question, I'll start talking, and she's like, turn your mic on. I'm like, oh, crap. Daggone it.
Well,
I do that, but it's usually because I'm eating a potato chip.
Yeah, but it's great because you two are at least in the same household.
Yeah.
So you get to see each other. Whether you want to or not, you still get to see each other.
Right.
You know? Okay. Now, you told me how you guys got into the paranormal, but how did you guys meet?
As a couple?
Yes, as a couple.
31 years ago. Actually, it's over 32 years ago. About 32 years ago, we first met, and we went out for a little bit. And at that time when we met, I got a job at Domino's Pizza here in a local town as a delivery driver, and Teresa was the assistant manager. So
He got the good days off
I
work.
started dating the boss.
Ah, dating a boss lady. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and then we actually went through a spell that she didn't speak to me for about a year, and then she called me out of the blue, and we've not really been separated since. Yeah, it's been 30 years now. We've been married, been together over 31 years. Believe it or not, we don't fight or argue.
No.
We've never had a fight or an argument in our entire relationship. But it's easy for me to get away with that because, as you all know, and if you guys know me, and if you've ever seen or done any of the videos that I do or any of the shows that I do, I ask my family and friends all the time, if something's done wrong or stupid, who do you think done it? Everybody goes, well, you did. I'm like, see, you're all going to blame me anyway. Nobody's going to blame Teresa. So what's to argue about? It's always my fault.
Good point.
Where's the debate?
True. There's no
Yeah.
doubt there. It's always the guy's fault.
That's right.
That's fine.
right.
We as women don't do a whole lot wrong, and when we do, we got to blame it on somebody. So, hello. I mean,
And
she
I've
made the best. Teresa made
We've
the
got a
best choice.
19-year-old son
Oh gosh.
that is like
Who's
a chunk
more
of
like
Jay's rear end fell off and grew. He is so much like his dad. It is unreal. So I'm double. I don't know if you want to say cursed
What?
or double blessed. So
You're so blessed.
it depends on what day it is and what time of day.
We're always a blessing in disguise.
Oh gosh, yeah, I know what that's like. I have 3 children, 1 girl and 2 boys, and my daughter is my favorite because she's a girl. The boys, well, they're boys, you know.
They're boys.
Yeah. Right now I have no more children living at home. They're all out on their own, like big adults that they are. My baby is going to be turning 22, and I have a cat and a dog, and a husband, and all of which are male. The only female dog that we had, she's no longer with us. But at the time when she was, I said at least I wasn't the only bitch in the house. Oops, sorry, did I say that loud?
That's okay. Because we've got 3 black cats, 2 males and a female. So at least I do have some other estrogen in the house. But
Okay.
I have to say she's very opinionated and very mouthy.
Just like the other female.
Hey.
What?
So sometimes it's not good to be the only female. You need to have
it's
backup.
not. Yes. Well, I do. My daughter's on speed dial, and whenever my husband misbehaves, I go, you want me to call your daughter? You want me to call my daughter? She's just like, you know. And all I got to do is send her a text message, and she'll call the house, and she'll go, Dad, what are you doing? Don't. It's like, yeah, hi. You know. She is only about 2 hours away. You know, if she did steal somebody's car, maybe an hour and a half. But you know, she could make it up here. She kicked Daddy's butt. So I have that back.
Our son just moved out 2 weeks ago, and he's moved to Indiana to work.
About 2 hours away.
He's about 2.5 hours away, and it's really
quiet.
Yes. Well, as quiet as it can be with Jay in the house.
What do you mean by that?
Mhm. It's quiet when he's asleep.
No, I talk in my sleep.
You know what? This is funny you say that because this is the honest to God truth. When Hunter was little, it's our son. Our room was on one side of the hall. Hunter's was across the hall. And honest, they would sit there and talk to each other in their sleep.
Oh my!
It was awful.
It was great.
I didn't get any rest.
Well, it's not my fault. It's kind of, our son's AD and I am ADHD as all get out. So there's always something going on. We keep a pretty hectic schedule, and it's kind of rough on Teresa sometimes because she's not. And bless her heart, she tries her best to keep up with my insanity, for lack of a better term, because I do have a very broad sense of humor. I'm trying to use the word eclectic.
You're
normal.
You're very abnormally weird. You're very fast-paced. I had to learn to listen fast, and that's truly a thing.
That has happened with the radio. I have learned to slow my speech pattern down.
Yes.
Because people would always like, you talk too fast. I'm like, no, you just listen too slow.
Oh. Listen, I had to literally learn to listen faster to keep up with him.
But I enjoy the ADHD. I'm one of those people that have learned to, but I'm 50 years old. I've had a lifetime of it. My mom and dad did not want to give us Ritalin as children, so we didn't get medicated for it. I just learned how to absolutely use it in my favor. I couldn't imagine not having all the images going and things going through my head all the time and being slowed down. It would just be redundancy to me. I don't think I could handle it. I can't enjoy it so much.
My memory is crap, and his is not. He can remember every word of a conversation that we had 10 years ago.
20 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Well, but in my defense, I tell her all the time, the reason why I have to do that, because 9 times out of 10, when people want to bring up a past conversation, it's usually not going to be in my favor. And I have to remember what I said and done because I do so much. If I did it and if I said it, I will admit to it. But if I didn't, I will adamantly defend myself. There's no trying to calm my way out of anything. If I said it or I done it, good, bad, right, wrong, it doesn't matter to me. If I did it, and I will boldly admit to it.
That's true.
I'll apologize for it if I was wrong. But I'll be damned if I'm taking blame for something I didn't do. Not happen. No. I do enough stuff without getting blamed for stuff I didn't.
Well, one of my sons, I won't say which one, because he'd be like, what? He was diagnosed with, I think it was ADHD by the school systems. And they said, well, he's got to go on Ritalin. And I brought him to the pediatrician. Pediatrician says, what, are you crazy?
Yeah.
You know, he says, change his diet, keep him active. My children could not sit in seats and listen to you drone on. You had to keep them, they had to be engaged in what they were learning. And unfortunately, some of the school systems in Canada and I'm guessing elsewhere are a little bit special. And that's about as nice as I can put it, because they just. So, I mean, ADHD, whatever the letters are, I think everybody is special in the.
Oh, absolutely.
In
my
their own
parents wouldn't give us Ritalin either. But the Ritalin back then was so terrible, in my opinion, because I had some of my friends that were on it, and their medicine would spike, and they'd be fine. And sometimes it would spike, and they'd be actually almost over the board fine, and then it would crash and be lethargic as all get out, and there was no release to it. Hunter did try Concerta for a while. It was more of a time release thing, but he absolutely hated the way it made him feel. He made it the way that it would, when it wore off, how he felt he couldn't go to sleep then, and then they wanted to give him a low dose blood pressure medicine so he could sleep, and it's like, I'm not one of the people that go with that. I wasn't raised doing that. So
but by the time he was in 7th grade, he quit taking the medication.
Yeah, because it was a constant battle, and I'm not one for. I hate that whole era that we all grew up in it, where it started with if you're happy, if you're too happy, you need to take a pill. If you're too sad, you need to take a pill. You want to do this, you got to take a pill. You got, and it was always medicate. Where my family was never like that, and so when he wanted to stop taking it, I was more than happy to have him stop taking it because I didn't like it to begin with. I did it because it was good for him at the time, but once he learned how to focus and harness it more and stuff, it was, and it can be. A lot of people don't want to accept that it's not a disorder. It's truly not. It can be a blessing if you learn and take the time to understand it and work with it. Just like your kids did. They learned how to enjoy it and focus it and use it to their advantage. So many people can do that. So
now both of them are both the boys are into construction, and it's their way of. Jennifer's Journey in the chat room says amen to that. Both my boys are into construction, and they're outside, and that's what they like doing. That's what they like being. My eldest is into bodybuilding. He's going to be he's hoping to do what do you call it? I don't know, one of those shows type thing. Competition, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, picture, and I like to tease him, like moms, right? We love to tease our kids. One day he did on Instagram, he was doing an exercise thing, and he was making his chest muscles move. And I follow him on Instagram as much as he follows me. And I was like, don't start now. You don't want Mama to do the same thing. He's like, Mom.
Mom, don't do that.
Don't do that, Mom.
But it is. It's so wonderful to hear other people talk about how they focus it and take away from the medication and things. And there's so many things you can do to help with it that's non-chemical.
Yeah.
But I got to admit that I have a absolute drive on about everything I do. That's why, like I said, with the schedule we got right now, we're booked up all but 2 weeks between now and the end of November.
I know. That's why I was so glad when you said yes, and I think it was your last week's show that somebody said that you were fully booked, and I was like, ha, I got them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
and I know you guys were at an event this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a good event. We
investigated both Friday and Saturday night at 101 Para Cafe in Winchester, Indiana. And Friday night we did the isolation session with Teresa, and that's actually, I'm impressed with it. She's absolutely shocked, and I told her people were watching more than what she thinks and listen to what she's doing. At last look, there was like over 2,900 views.
There's almost 3,000
views, and it had reached over 13,000 people. So, and it's growing, and that's absolutely amazing that two old people in the paranormal have that much reaching out to people and making that much connection, trying to help people get answers and try new things and stuff. It's humbling to me, very humbling.
But it's because you guys are not. You are who you are. You don't put on a facade. It's like I said, it's Teresa and Jay. Jay is like way out there. Your sense of humor is special.
Right? I put that description. Special.
You like that one, Special. And Teresa, you can tell she loves you because she puts up with some of your stuff, some of the stuff that pops out of your mouth. Sometimes I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, she's going to kill him," and I don't hear you screaming because she smacked you. So she's got the patience of a goddess.
We were doing an event at Ashmore Estates. We was out there for a 101. And and by the way, folks, all these events that we do, every one that we do, is always for charity. That one at Ashmore Estates went to the Los Angeles Foundation. This weekend's event where we were at 101, all the proceeds, every single dime that was brought in, stayed with 101 for historical preservations. We don't do this for any other reason. We do all kinds of things like that in the paranormal and outside the paranormal. But yeah, so it's not something that we actually, they're not paying us to be there. That's why the costs are so cheap. It's only $25 a person. At Ashmore's only like $50 a person, which is their normal cost. But all the proceeds went to a good cause. So that's what I like about it. I love giving back to the community, not just the paranormal community, the community around us.
Yeah, and I'm liking, I've never been. I got into the paranormal community when I started on Paramania Radio because Dave and Brock and everybody else that were on, not everybody, but most of the hosts on the show had some form of paranormal connection, investigation, or sit and listen to it. And it's like, I've never been to an actual investigation. I'm kind of sort of curious to go to one, but I also know that I'm not a scaredy cat. But I just have a feeling that people always say, well, there's always one girl in the show who stands there and screams. I think I might be that one. I'd be good with the after, want me to sit there and listen to the tapes and watch the videos. I'd be good at that, just give me coffee and I'm fine. But, going to an investigation, I'm curious. I would like to do one. But I'm also thinking, I may not. The ghosts might go, could you please get her out of here? Seriously,
I don't hear when we going back and hearing and listening to your EVPs and stuff. That's not I don't hear them very well, and I've noticed that a lot of people that have abilities, and because we've talked to several people that have abilities on our show and in person, and a lot of them don't say the same thing, don't they, Jay?
Yeah.
And he thought it was just me because I was lazy and didn't want to do it. I was like, I can sit and listen to it.
Okay.
But I don't hear it. I don't hear the EVPs very well. Now, if somebody says, okay, listen between, 30 39
221
seconds
and
and 42
223.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and tell me if you hear something. I'll listen. It's like, okay, maybe I do hear something. Play it again, and I'll have them played a couple times. Then maybe I'll pick it up. But normally, I don't hear them.
Okay. So then, because I've heard a couple of shows that they've played EVPs live on air, and I just thought it was, me not hearing, and it was just like
No,
noise and stuff. Okay. So maybe one day I'll
no,
just
it's
have to get
because you're
somebody to
gifted.
send me their EVPs. Oh, thank you. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
a good gift sometimes, but
Aw.
but I think I'll have to have somebody. I have so many friends in it. Just send me a couple of EVPs so I can actually know with no prompting as to what I'm listening for, but just to listen, just to see if because I've never actually heard some. I've just sort of, like I said, on shows I hear it. Like I can't remember who was doing a show, and it was all about EVPs. I think it was on Ghost Call Radio, another station that I had a few shows on. Um, these guys always have EVP sessions, and I'm like, maybe it's just me. I don't hear what you're hearing, but it could be a difference. And so I think I'll check that out just to see for the heck of it, and see if I do. But I like to watch the videos. Like there was somebody gave me a link one time to something that was going on in a video. It was a YouTube video, and I sat there and I watched it and I saw it, and I was like, wasn't that on such and such a movie? And all that was like, because it was so, I could see things that, like, I was like, interesting people, but is that for real? Was it live or Memorex type of thing? So,
Right.
but that'll be something for me to look into. I think that'd be cool. Okay, something I heard about, and now you guys are gonna have to let me know if this is right. National Ghost Hunting Day, September 29th.
Yeah,
Not
we've
sure
heard
the
about
date.
that. I
Okay.
think it is September 29th this year.
I think it is.
It was the
So,
last week in September the last couple of years.
okay. So is that something that everybody not pays attention to, but pays attention to?
It's growing. It's we were involved with it for a couple of years. The first couple of years, we've kind of, with all the events that we've been booked into and stuff, we have a small local place that's working with I think an investigation that night. We have Paravisions Paranormal, which is a team that we are a part of. They're supposed to be working at an old museum, and the proceeds are there. I don't know how much we'll actually be involved with it this year. Like I said, with our calendar ways, and don't get me wrong, it sounds like I'm bragging. I don't. I'm just amazed that people want to do things with us, and I jump at the chance and say, "Hey, would you guys to come do this?" Like, okay. So I don't know how much involved this excuse me with it this year we will get, but yeah, it's gone for what? This is the third year.
Yeah, this will be number 3.
So, and they were doing their reveal the first year at Scarefest, and then they moved to New Orleans last year. I don't know where they're doing that this year. I have no idea.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I haven't been in contact with it a whole lot. It seems like it's a growing thing. It really is.
Eventually, they're going to put that on the calendar. When you go to certain calendars, there's like National Hot Dog Day, and it'll be National Ghost Hunting Day. It should be international.
I think they did get it. I think they did get it put up there that one time.
I think it was on there.
It should be international. It should be international because actually they've had teams that last year that was in Australia. Some of it was in Scotland. They had one in South America. They actually had one in India. So it has grown past national ghost hunting.
And it's kind of cool because they, no matter wherever home base is.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's here in Middletown, Ohio, if that's where it's originating from, at 5 p.m. Middletown, Ohio time, everybody in the world that's doing it asks the same questions. So if it may be 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. somewhere else, but they're still going to ask those same questions. So if they're far away, they may be investigating in the middle of the day.
Right. Yeah.
And that's it's cool that they have it set up that way, so it doesn't matter where you are.
What time zone? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what time zone. It doesn't matter where you are at this time. From this time to this time, everybody's going to ask these 3 questions. And they're trying to do it as far as like a collective consciousness.
Yes,
like
Brian
worldwide meditation.
Yeah,
Right.
Brian kind of was helping with it the last couple of years. I think he stepped away from it. He stepped away from a lot of the paranormal this year and kind of slowed down the schedule, take a little bit of a break. But that's the designs they were building off of, which is also along the lines of Konstantin Radiv and the collective consciousness and the time stream continuum, where he was trying to make the contact through and all that. And they're building it off a lot of that theory that to make the connection there. Which with that is also the three pillars that Brian talks about all the time. That we have to have a skeptic, an investigator, and a psychic medium. That way, you have somebody doing it scientifically with the investigator. You have a psychic medium to make the connection, and you have a skeptic to kind of keep it all grounded and balanced.
Keep it balanced.
So that, and which is some of that's based off the ideas of Konstantin Radiv also. So, but Brian Cano is really,
and that makes a really good paranormal team too.
Oh, absolutely, it makes a very solid paranormal team because I'm a firm believer. I don't have abilities like yourself and Teresa and so many others that we've gotten to know, and I'm actually in some ways kind of jealous of it, but I'm also very happy that I don't. I have enough things going on in my head with my own ADHD that I don't need other people's thoughts in there. I think it would push me over the limits finally. But it's to me, it's something we got in a big discussion not too long ago on our show, Sit, Chat, and Laugh, that I was asking somebody the question. It's like, we only investigate by scientific methods. I'm like, so now you get my attention because now I'm going to come in with my perspective on this, and they end up seeing what I'm saying, and that's, I can't see how we can say that we can only investigate paranormal activity with scientific methods when, by the definition of what you're trying to investigate, a ghost. What's a ghost? It's a spirit. So and what's a spirit? It's spiritual. So you're investigating spiritual things with scientific means. To me, I'm like Brian Cano. I've always believed that. I think the middle ground is where we need to be. That Teresa does her thing with her abilities and stuff, and I go in. I go into the room and I do a ground sweep and all that stuff, and I make sure where their normal readings are at. Blah blah blah.
He does
blah, blah,
that techie stuff,
and I do all that, and I register it. I usually take in grid paper. I log where I get spikes at and stuff, so that way I know exactly where things are at in the room, what I've captured, what I haven't captured. And then if she comes in here and she says now that I'm feeling something with her abilities, I'm like, okay, now let's go there with the equipment, whether it be a millimeter, whatever equipment you want to take, and if it correlates with what she's saying, and now I get a spike that wasn't there earlier, to me that's more onto something, and it's kind of confirming what she's feeling, but also her feelings are confirming that there wasn't something there earlier, but now there is. You're getting a confirmation of both.
Yeah,
you're actually.
I think that's interesting that you use the three different. It makes sense. Okay, just a quick note. Eric in the chat room is a medium, and his guide is Teddy, and he came to Eric. They first met. Eric was taking a shower, and Teddy just sort of joined him in there. Not, like he didn't go behind the curtain, but he was like, Eric's taking a shower, and all of a sudden he hears this deep male voice going, "Hey!" So it's like, and when Eric did church services, Teddy, because Eric can see Teddy, so Teddy would, wear a tutu, and wear a mankini during church services. When Teddy wants things to go his way, he just sort of, distracts Eric. So yeah. Teddy and Jay, oh my Lord, God, that would be like, no, yeah, Teddy wants his own show, and I'm like, no, though I do like Teddy, so
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, he's hysterical. One day, we'll get. I had Eric do a show one time with us, and he talked about, can't not help talk about Teddy because Teddy's always there, and the antics Teddy gets up to, I think, really does rival Jay. Except Jay,
Eric, I am so sorry. I feel for you. But at least I can go to the bathroom, or I can go away from Jay if I need to for a minute. With Teddy, Eric, you can't do that.
Oh my. Okay, you said dream your team as a perfect team member. What is, if you could choose anybody to make a perfect team to go investigating with, who would they be? And where would the perfect place be?
Oh, wow.
That's an extremely hard question for me because we've been blessed to work with so many wonderful people, and there's so many of them that I would
Love to
that I
work
would
with again.
Yeah, I know for a fact that if they and that's something that we do anyway. If they call and they say we need help, if we can go, we go. Whether it be residential or anything like that, because there's so many talented people out there. That's last night at the event, we had some young ladies with us that we've investigated with about 4 or 5 times now, and they seem to show up anywhere that they can where we're doing one of these open investigations. Like I said, you guys want to take some equipment, go on your own. Like, no, we won't go with you guys. You guys know more what you're doing. I'm like, no, we don't know more what we're doing. We may have a little bit more experience, but
they say you're the professional.
Yeah,
it's like no, there's no professionals in it.
You're just as talented in this field as what we are. The fresh minds. I love taking a newbie with me, for lack of a better term, somebody that's never investigated before, because they're coming in with they're so awestruck and so attentive to what's going on and so willing to experience and learn that I love that. I love that energy that they give off. It and that excitement. It builds the room, and we don't work around at that whole black side of it, the dark side, whatever you want to call it, the evil side. I
have never ran into anything.
No.
I've ran into, and by ran into I mean experience, grumpy spirits.
Well, that's because you live with me.
I'm used to grumpy. Yeah.
There you go.
I ran into grumpy. I've ran into hateful, just rude. I have not ran into anything demonic.
Yeah.
We've investigated with teams that, they were newer than we were, and telling us how they've done all these private residences, which I don't think a new team should necessarily do a private residence, but that
took us a long time.
I
I wouldn't do private residences until the last year.
Yeah.
Before I started doing private residences, when we joined Paravisions Paranormal, and we're members of Lake Erie Paranormal, and without joining those, I probably still wouldn't do residentials. I have a big difference in beliefs about residentials than what most people do. Big.
Well, yeah.
But when we do residentials, my one rule is that I do not interact with the client. I don't talk to them. I don't interview with them.
The last residential, you blew that rule right out of the water. That was a weird situation,
The lady kept coming
though.
to me, though, so I'm not going to be rude. She kept coming to me to ask me
two
questions.
Two people that were at that particular investigation that don't want and don't deal well with other people.
It's not that.
They were there more for EVP, listening to, tech support, that type of thing.
No, that's
and that is true.
Kind of.
But you guys were the ones that the client was drawn to.
Yeah.
And she kept coming to them, and we're like, okay, this just totally it like flipped everything around, and we're like, okay, what the hell do we do? The way we were going to do things has just gotten totally blown out of the water. Jay, the guy that's supposed to he says, I'm just going to listen to live EVP, and I'm just going to sit here. Don't expect me to say anything. We're like, okay, that's fine. You do that. And it just went completely out of the water.
Well, my thing with that is that, first off, I know me. And especially if we're in a residential where there's a child or anybody that I think is being bullied or manipulated, that I'm very protective. I'm very defensive. And once anyone kicks in that mode where they're trying to protect that person or protect that child or whatever, none of us become objective anymore. We're now more in a defense mode, and we are no longer looking at things in an open-minded, objective way. We're really being critical of things, and we're looking at very one-sided because we're trying to protect that individual, protect that situation. So I don't want that. Yeah. So I know that my team, Teresa's very wonderfully gifted, Lee's very wonderfully gifted, John's wonderfully gifted. Lee and Patty and John are extremely intelligent in what they do and know the role. So is Deanna with Lake Erie Paranormal. It's the same way with Sean and Jason, all them, and Vicky. They all know their jobs, and they've been doing this for a long time. And I can trust them to do their jobs. But I can't trust myself to not be objective or not be defensive about things and not come with a absolute purest form of what I should be doing. My job there is to collect evidence, and therefore their jobs are to interact with the people and get that side of it. So because they have the abilities, they can sense and feel what's going on around them and sense their emotions and stuff. I can't. So I focus on what I do. I know my role, I know my job, and I focus on that, and I do my job. I think that's one of the biggest problems in the paranormal is a lot of people and teams think that they have to be everything. I know that I'm not. I know that if we ever come across a demonic situation, I know I've got 4 or 5 people that I can call right now for them to handle it, because that's out of my pay grade. That's above what I'm capable of doing. I am not going to be able to help that family. I'm going to be able to do them more harm than good, because I'm actually outside of my realm of expertise. And if I'm truly here to do a residential to help the people, then you need to get the right person here to help that person, whether it be you or someone else.
Yeah. Eric in the chat room says he's been doing this for 50 plus years working with spirits. And he just recently found his, let's see, hold on. Let's read word for word, because if I paraphrase, I'm going to muck it up. It took me 50 plus years of working with spirits to actually find a proper haunted house. And then he really just wanted to be noticed and talked to. Boy, was that exciting. Doors slamming, drawers opening, kites flying? I'm not going to go say go fly a kite.
Knives.
Oh, knives. Duh. Told you. Good thing I'm on radio. I shouldn't read stuff. But, yeah. And, again, it's like you guys say, it's not evil. It was somebody who wanted attention. Like a child throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've just discovered, there was some, my husband likes to watch the news and different programs, and I stay away from it as much as possible. But something that he was watching caught my attention. You know how we used to give kids, when our parents were young, we used to get spanking or whooping.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
yes,
and then
we
gave... Stop! You deserve a whooping, I'm sure.
Oh, no doubt in my mind. His mom told me if I ever had, before we had kids,
for everyone I got, I deserve 10 more.
Well, she said that. I said, if we have a boy, I don't know what I'm going to do. She said, you stand it in the corner, you whip it 3 times or 4 times a day.
You spank it 3 times a day, hug it 4 times a day, stand still, ass in the corner the rest of the time. It worked for me. I did spend a lot of time in the corner too.
But they're saying that when we put children into time out, it's for their minds, it's not a good thing, because then you're saying whatever they're doing means that they should be alone. So in a sense, when a spirit crosses over and they're not being paid attention to, it's like you're putting them in a permanent timeout. They're gonna have a hissy fit, until they get somebody who can, who does pay attention to them. So yeah, that would be, I could see that. I mean, I do believe that there is evil out there. I choose to find the good in them. But I'm sure that there are some that are not. But, so yeah, I think that the little one in the house that Eric was at was like you said, wanted attention. And sometimes kids do whatever they do to get the attention. Well, the spirit, the same.
Absolutely.
Well, with children, negative attention is still attention.
Exactly.
With children, what about me?
That's true too.
Okay.
You're under the same cover.
Absolutely. Yeah. To me, I think we overthink the paranormal a lot of times, in my opinion. The quantum physics and theories and all that things are so wonderful. They're great. I enjoy them. I enjoy trying to experiments with these things, but the common person doesn't think upon that level. The common person from 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, and you just keep going back, surely does not understand that level of mentality or question or anything like that. So, to me, most of your people are not bad people. Most of your people are good people. Look at the percentage of people that's incarcerated compared to the people that's not. The people that's incarcerated that's done small, minor things compared to the people that's done more evil things and more bad things. So you actually, to me, your spirit world would be indicative of your real world. And therefore, if you put negative influence into people, you get negative influence back. Man, I sort of sound like I got abilities when I don't. Callie, Cheryl, and Teresa have taught me a whole lot of this energy thing, and it's really coming through to me. But we overthink it sometimes. To me, you're talking to common people on a common daily basis. It's not like you're sitting down and having a scientific discussion with them. If I was trying to contact Einstein, you bet your bottom dollar I'd be trying to pick up my level of education level to discuss it, because he's going to be talking at that level. It's like when we went to Mansfield Prison. Teresa, I told her when we went there, I'm going to sound like I'm provoking to her, but I used to run around with nothing but a bunch of outlaws, rednecks, bikers, and things like that. So they talk very gruff, very bold, like they would if they were in prison. That's that whole machismo thing. Or she was so used to the nice places that we went, I said, you can't go into Mansfield Prison and go, hello, would you guys like to speak to us today? I brought some cookies. They're not going to respect that. They don't understand that. They're not going to respond to you on that. That's not their lingo. Not even if they're a CO. The COs have to match their environment also. They have to show that machismo stuff, or the inmates will take advantage of them. So you have to match your environment sometimes, and a lot of people don't understand that. You have to speak to the people on the level that they're at, and what you think you're communicating with. If you speak about, you start talking to me on a level of astrophysics. I don't know that much about it, so I'm going to lose interest in the conversation because I don't understand what the heck you're talking about.
Very true. I'm sure Mama D could not go into a prison because it's just that wouldn't. I'd be like,
it was an amazing experience.
It was different. It really was. It's got a different vibe to it when you go in. It wasn't necessarily. I don't want to say it was all negative, but there was not any. Like, sometimes you run into a spirit that they're happy. They're a little more upbeat. There wasn't any of that. It was very odd. I have to go back there because I really didn't investigate. I absolutely was amazed and enthralled with the architecture of the building, the history of the building, the standing 6 tiers of cells, 6 stories high, freestanding cells. Absolutely amazed me. With Teresa and we're down on the ground floor, the guy said you're free to roam about yourself before they even knew what was going on. I was up on the 6th floor of the prison cells, walking around by myself in the dark. I don't know how the hell he got up there that fast.
I found the place almost
move when he wants to.
Serene and peaceful to me. I wasn't intimidated by it. I wasn't threatened by it. But maybe that's with my past life, or the people I used to hang around with before me and Teresa got together. Maybe it's a past life. I don't know, but. I did not find the place to be looming or intimidating or threatening or scary or ominous or any of that. It actually felt peaceful to me because, I don't know, she's like, you're just weird. I'm like, yes, we know this. But I did not find it threatening. I found nothing about it threatening.
Well, because you're not looking for the threatening. You're looking for what it is, what it is. And I hate that saying. You're looking at a building for the beauty of what it is, but you do it automatically without thinking. So you saw, okay, and okay, but it's so for you it was like you said, the structure, the way things are built, you could see beauty in it, whereas other people see, oh my God, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's damp, but you saw the beauty in it. As I keep saying, my unicorns fart butterflies and rainbows, but there's still a smell to it. And it's the reverse. It's the reverse when it comes to prison. Oh, you've not heard that before? You never listened to my Facebook Live?
I've
yeah,
heard
you can.
The unicorns fart rainbows and sprinkles and glitter.
Butterflies.
But I've never heard that.
It's still a fart.
That is so funny.
Yeah. The prison is still a prison. It's still held. He's writing it down, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
A prison is still a prison. It held what it held, but the person who built it, who created it, was still, as I look at it, that's still their child. The person who built it still created it, still, gave it love and tenderness. It's what you put into it afterwards is something else. Right. So you saw the child of the builder, of the creator, so that was what you saw, and then everything else came along.
Looking at the architecture, we go into some of the older locations, and I'm trying to tune in and on spirit and what's there and activity, and Jay's head is swiveling around, looking at how the ceilings are put in, and look at the framing, look at the molding on the frame, isn't it pretty gingerbread work? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, okay. It's still, as long as it's a solid floor and the walls aren't coming down, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. I don't have to worry about falling through the floor. That's a plus. A lot of times, we go to these locations, and that's a serious issue. You'll get this Oh, you know what? Stay away from that back end on the second floor. It's not there. So, yeah, okay, wait a minute. What do you mean it's not there? You know, if you the floor is really mushy and you'll fall straight through, so just don't go back there. Okay, we
Okay,
investigate in the
noted.
dark.
Well noted.
Yeah, duly noted.
Uh-huh. I think I saw a video once, a show once on I think it was the way things were built in Peru back in the Mayan culture, and they were talking about the way things were, the stones were cut, and they have no idea how it was done. I think if I ever find the link to that again, I will send it to you, Jay, because the structure of it was like totally, oh my God, it was gorgeous. So
Wow.
if I find it was a movie, and I don't remember what it was. It was a friend who shared it with me. I think it was Donna Ravenrose. She shared it with friends, and it was like, holy cow! So that would be something that you would, I'm sure you'd like to see.
All right.
Okay,
Hmm.
so dream place. Now you guys have been to quite a few because you've been doing this for a while. What is the one place aside from the prison that
Hmm.
each of you wants to go back to? Because I know what Jay likes is not going to always be what you like, and for different reasons. Okay, you like
Right.
each other. That's what counts, most important. But different, like, which is
Today
the
she likes
venue?
me.
Today she likes you. That's because she's alive on air. When you hang up the phone and
I'll be
be
in
like,
trouble.
Jay,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Right.
So,
Actually, we're both in agreement pretty much on a dream place, dream location. We would both love to investigate Ireland.
oh, and why? Oh, we have a question in the chat room. Um, Eric, you better learn how to spell my name. Teddy is asking, have the Lynches got the contract to sign? What? Teddy is asking, have the Lynches got the contract to sign? They're waiting. You're waiting for. Okay, so Teddy says you're waiting for to sign a contract.
Uh, there's a possibility of a contract coming up. I don't think that we're actually going to take that opportunity. I think we're actually going to pass on that. I I don't think it's actually going to work out the way I was hoping it would. Just too many differences that not coming together, and too many things that people's wanting us to do that I'm not comfortable with doing, and I won't do. I just won't do it. And
Okay.
so it's not something that's going to happen. And that's because of my choices and actually Teresa's choices too. I mean,
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, we do discuss everything. There's no I make a decision for the both of us. I do a lot of the
Yeah.
booking for the both of us because Teresa's like, I don't care whatever you want to do. So I,
But but
Uh-huh.
but there are certain things that we do absolutely discuss.
they tried to get us to sign this contract over almost a year ago,
Hmm.
and I wouldn't sign it then, and I held off. They're starting to get pushy about it again, and it's just not going to happen. I don't like the way it's going, and I don't want to become caught in something that's going to be more detrimental than what it is good. I want to see positive. I see the positive in people. I see the positive in the paranormal. I don't believe in the word para-unity. I used to. I quit because it's been plagiarized so much. I just believe in the word respect. Respect people,
Yep.
period. Living or dead. Respect them. Be good to one another.
True. Very true. Agreed here. So, Teddy, I hope that
Eric,
answers your question.
Teddy, thank you. You kind of blew my mind on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy's real good with that.
Now you
Teddy's
got
real
me.
good.
Now, see, I don't know
Yeah.
what to say here because I usually keep a lot of defenses up on things like this because I've never actually sat with all the people that we know and all the shows that we've done and been so blessed to meet and so wonderful, gifted, talented people. I've never opened up for a reading, not once. Well, I started to the other day with our one friend Brandy from PO3, Brandy Marie. She's absolutely wonderful young lady, wonderfully gifted lady. But I
Hmm.
usually keep my guards up because there's things about my past that I don't want. They don't need to be talking about. It is what it is. I did what I did. Not bad. I didn't go to prison or nothing like that. But I was
No.
not a nice person. I did a lot of bar fighting and all that crap. And I just that's behind me. I want to
That's
leave that
where I
there.
know you from. No, I'm kidding.
If MMA would have been around when I was younger, I would have been involved with it big time. I used to. To
Mhm.
me, there was nothing wrong with recreational violence.
I'm pleading the fifth on that one because Mama D was not
Right.
a very nice girl when she was young either, so it's cool.
Yeah, we've all got a past, but
Yeah,
I've matured
exactly.
past that. Go past that, and I don't want to. It's not something I want to brag about, talk about, and throw out in the world. It is what it is. I've done what I did, and I grew up and I moved the hell on.
Okay. Eric says, now he says there's another one coming from left field and it's worth reading. There's another contract coming out of left field and it's worth reading, and he says enjoy.
Oh,
Eric, tell Teddy, absolutely. I'm always open for discussions
Thank
for
you.
anything, but it has to be enjoyable for me. I have to. I get in trouble at work because of my sense of humor sometimes. Because
Imagine that.
I drive a forklift and a camp truck. I work in the shipping and receiving department. And just the other day, I was riding around beeping jingle bells on my horn, and it was 97 degrees out. And I work at a paper mill, so it was like 147 degrees in the plant, and humidity is like 62 or about 96% because we have steam heat to dry our paper. So it's always just hot, muggy, and moist and stuff. I'm driving around my forklift playing jingle bells with the horn and
and everybody's cussing him.
Oh, I don't blame him. But you also have to admit, as much as people sit there and go, oh my God, it's hot, oh my God, I'm melting. It's like, hell, at least we're not shoveling it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not a winter person, so you know.
Well, I figured if we're so hot, then why not think about something so cold?
Yeah, but I'm really picky. I hate summer. I hate the heat. I hate the sweat. But I absolutely detest the cold.
Let's be honest about this, folks. Teresa
thought
she started sweating one day. She said, "Call 911. My skin's leaking." I'm like, "No, honey, you're still called sweat."
It's not that bad.
She thought she'd probably sprung a leak.
Say you are bad. No, but I have to agree with Teresa. I do not. I'm a redhead. 5 minutes in the sun and I look like a cooked rock lobster. And I'm in Quebec, so snow that goes over my head there's nothing abnormal about that. So I do not like the cold, and I do not like these. Summer and winter are my two least favorite seasons. Give me spring and give me fall.
Absolutely.
There's birth and rebirth, and there's color, and there's just a nice little jacket, and I'm happy.
See, I prefer the cold over the heat because I can put more clothes on, but trust me, I can only take so much off before they go throw my butt in jail.
Yeah, no, we're not going there. That'd be like Teddy and his mankini. No thanks, we don't need that.
I'm out. Not doing it. Nope.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord, Teddy's on a roll. Jay, do you have a flag behind your desk?
Not behind it, but down the end. Not behind it, but at the one end of it where Teresa normally sits, will be sitting behind her. I have an Erin bra and an Irish flag because my dad's family's originally from Ireland. My mom's family's originally from Scotland. And believe it or not, we actually had one of our relatives that actually signed the Declaration of Independence. It's in the third row, second one down, Thomas Lynch Jr. So my family's been an outlaw for this country from the beginning.
Dang. Now you're making Eric and Teddy very happy because Eric's from the UK and Teddy's from the UK, and I have to, oh gosh, I'm going to go in there. But one thing about Teddy is he doesn't cross lines. If you won't allow it, if you don't want him to cross the line, he won't cross the line. Yeah.
Absolutely,
he likes pushing lines, but he won't cross the line.
Believe it or not, I've progressed enough in this field. I've met such amazing people, and Teddy and Eric have proven to be just two more of the amazing spirits and souls I've met in this field.
Right.
That anymore I don't put up defenses. I know for a fact that if I'm respectful back, then they will be. If they find things that they don't think that they should put out on air or ask me on air, they won't. But if they have questions they still want to ask, feel free to hit me up on my Facebook page in a private message. I have no problem with that. I have nothing really to hide. I just don't want to make it something people are like, oh, let's talk about your past. Well, you know what? It is what it is. It was my past. And if you really want to know about it, you should have been there because it was a good damn time. I got a lot of scars from it. I was one of those people that I actually would take bets where I actually jumped off the 2-story buildings for a beer.
That's true.
Yeah. I've well, let's go through this thing here. I've rolled out and how many lawnmowers goofing around. I flipped quad runners. I've been thrown out of 2 cars, flipped out of a Jeep, shot at 3 times, wrecked 4 motorcycles I wasn't supposed to walk away from. Laid in bed for a day and a half with appendix rupture, thinking I just had a stomach flu until Teresa and her mom nagged at me to go to the hospital. Ended up having emergency surgery on. They give me less than 20% chance of surviving the first week.
That's very true.
I'm beat up, I'm banged up, but I've had a great damn time.
And Teresa's lived through it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's happy that I've slowed down now, and I mean I've slowed down not a whole lot, but I've slowed down for me. I've taken about a half a step too slower. Affleck's about to cancel me because of my stupid.
The duck walked away from you, did he now? Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, he's about to say,
The duck goes, oh shit, him again.
But I've never let fear of life, death, pain, nothing stop me from living. When I was a child, I was very quiet. In fact, I would be in a public place. I wouldn't ask another man where the bathroom was at because I was just too shy, too embarrassed to.
And his mom has verified that this was the truth, you guys.
Then when I was younger, of course, everybody remembers Happy Days. There's our age and stuff. And when Robin Williams came out, God rest his soul, he was that tore me up when what happened when he passed. But when he came out as more on that show, and I seen that being the way that I am, my ADHD, being out there like that, and being off the wall and just letting myself go was okay. It was fine to have humor. It was fine to be free and let it loose. It was like a switch just flipped in me, and I have never, ever looked back. I decided then and there that I was no longer going to watch the fires of life and watch everybody else live in it and be a spectator of it. By God, I was going to go write my own damn story, and I have. And it's been a blast. It's been a hell of a ride. And I thought for sure I'd been dead 25 years ago, but I guess, well, my one friend always said that God protects idiots and fools, and I was double covered.
Oh, that's true.
So, that's one thing she can honestly say. Besides, we've never had a fight or an argument. She's never been bored. There's always an adventure.
Not one moment have I been bored. I thought we'd been married for about maybe 7 years, and I screwed up. Yeah. And told Jay that I thought that I knew what he was going to do because I was thought that he was predictable.
I was been playing nice.
And I have regretted saying that ever since.
Oh my goodness.
Life's an adventure. Live it.
You know,
there is no big secret to life. You know, it's real simple. Part of life is the word live, and the big secret to life is that live, go, do, don't talk, do. Yep. You want to jump out of a plane? Go get a parachute and jump. Please, by all means, get a parachute.
Yes, please. That is one of those flying squirrel outfits.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, absolutely. I've got a really, really, really simple way of looking at life. And maybe it's because I've been given up for dead and left for dead so many times that I came to terms with my own mortality at a young age as a child, and it is what it is. Live it, enjoy it, make the most of it every damn minute. And I'm one of those, and for being a loud, obnoxious redneck, I'll be the first to admit that there's not a day that goes by that I don't say I love you to Teresa at least 30, 40, 50,000 times a day. I don't want no doubt in anybody's mind exactly how I thought or felt. Period, about anything. I'm open. I'm an open book. I meet people the first time, they're like, nice to meet you. I was like, no, it's not. I'm an asshole. You'll find out real quick. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I want to do what I'm going to do. It's nothing personal. I never want to offend anybody. But I also will not tiptoe through life like people are doing nowadays with all this oversensitive crap. They're missing out on living by being so oversensitive about every little thing. Quit talking about it and go do it.
Exactly. You have to live it. You can't sit by and watch it. You remind me of a good friend that I have on Facebook. I've known him for quite a few years, and he made a joke on Facebook day before yesterday. And he woke up this morning, and 4 people did not like his sense of humor, and they deleted themselves or whatever it was. He was left 4 friends. And he's like, ooh, more room for more people.
Exactly.
Because, the joke was a little on the borderline of raunchy. you know. But it was a joke. People,
I wish
it
mine were
was
just on the borderline.
yeah,
Me
well,
too.
for me, it was borderline. For other people, it wasn't borderline. But then I've known him for like bajillion years, so he knew me back when I wasn't Mama D. So it was like, okay, yeah,
Now,
okay, Doc.
I have to say something here.
in the chat room with Eric
Yeah.
and
Eric
Teddy.
said jump out in a pink tutu 3 years ago.
No, almost 4.
Has it been that long?
It's almost 4 years ago.
Jay and I are cracking up over
Oh
here.
yeah, absolutely. Because there's a story behind this. Because believe it or not, Eric, for as redneck as I supposedly am, we were at an event called ShadowCon up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Absolutely amazing people that put it on. Wonderful ladies and stuff. They worked their butts off with the pair of sisters, and they became an event there that it became a challenge. That for every $100 donated, I had to do. Me and a good friend of mine, Joe Kudo, had to do a stunt. And the first one was at the first $100 increment. If I would wear a pink tutu with a pink boa out on stage in front of everybody, and somebody would donate $100 to a children's charity. They didn't think I would do it because I'm so redneck and fast. Rednecks don't do that stuff. They're such bad people. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
I rocked that. I rocked that son of a bitch. I ain't gonna lie about it. I
Did
put
you
it
get
on.
that on
I
video?
danced. It was it was on video.
There's video.
Yeah,
There is.
It's about 4 years ago. I'd have to go back
Yeah.
to my timeline and see if I can't find it. But Robin Terry was there. So was Kevin Betzer and Randy Hardy. That's the first time I ever met them. The Wraith Chasers were there too.
Yeah.
First time I ever met them. So they're all like, I can't believe you did that. But at that event, I actually ate an egg, a boiled egg, and I hate eggs. It had been soaked in Fireball whiskey for 2 weeks.
Oh my
ate it.
God.
I actually bit the toes off the chicken's
Toenails.
feet. Well, I was supposed
You're
to bite
supposed
the
to get the
toenails
toenails.
off. I bit the whole toe off, and I was spitting it back up in the air, and then had people blowing it, spitting off the stage and stuff. I ate part of a boiled pig testicle. Joe ate part of a pig's butt that was covered in chocolate. And every time we'd done one of these stunts, though, each of us, $100 each, got donated to another children's charity. So with all the things that I've done,
Limbs.
yeah, it all went to Lost Limbs Foundation. So with all the things that I've done in the past, what I've done to myself for stupid stuff for my own entertainment, I would do even more than that. Still at this age, at 50, I still do things now if people are making a good donation to a good cause. We went too long ago. Me and my best friend Rick Rose was at the Rhodes Hotel 2 years ago now with that one. And we absolutely, for every $100 donated, they got to wax a part of our body. And Rick got his back, arms, legs, and chest waxed. They waxed my eyebrows. They pulled 3 different times on each eyebrow. Still didn't get them out. I was bleeding and everything else. I'm like, pull again. Because each time they pulled was another $100. We raised over $1,500 in one night just having ourselves tortured. And it was all on live feed. And it all went to the local food bank for because the church was low on the food bank. And it was getting close to Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff. So,
but that's something we've always done is
absolutely
we do charities.
Absolutely, I love it. We used to do with the biking community. We used to do poker runs and stuff. Always with the Dayton's Children's Hospital, Cincinnati's Children's Hospital. We've done beer tastings for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We've done it for Chiari malformation. You name it. If there's a cause comes up, and we actually done the last beer tasting we did went to veterans for the female veterans for breast cancer.
Yeah, save the tatas.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, if it's asinine and it's funny and it'll make money for a good cause, call me. I'll probably come help you do it.
No, I'm gonna put it out there.
No, I don't care. I put it out there all the time. If I can get there, I can help you raise money. I'm in.
If you do when you do your next fundraiser like that, like I did with Tim Miley and Murray, this last one he just did for the senior dogs. I can't remember, silver muzzle.
Silver muzzle.
They raised an awesome amount of money, and Tim came home with a new puppy. But I think
just saw that.
Yeah, and so now it's M&M. But I love to push things that are for a good cause. There's a team that was on my show a while back, the Paranormal Kicks Cancer, and they did a fundraiser for kids who it's a kids camp that fights cancer, and they do fundraisers. So I push that. Base camp, yeah, exactly. And
Paranormal
so
Kicks Cancer Free.
I push as much as I can. So when you do fundraisers, let me know. Post it on my page. I will share the hoo-hoo out of it. So, because that's one of the things I like to do, is make sure that things that need to get out there, get out there. Because one of the things I love about my show is it gives me a platform to share things that are needed to be shared. Awesome conversations, and it's not all just putting on shows like Eric will come on and do readings, and that's fun. But you need to get to know people, and this is what I like. The idea is get to know. A lot of people, they get to know they get to know Jay real quick, but they it's like, okay, then we know Jay. That's good, yeah. But they don't know. They think they know everything about Jay and Teresa, but they don't. I never knew this about you, getting waxed. God help the world.
It was. I did the
that
waxing on Jay's eyebrows, and I have to say, it did kind of. I got probably more pleasure out of that than I should have.
Aw, we won't say, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes. When Eric is on, he's on with another friend, and they're called the Rambling Mediums, and they're hysterical. Those guys were, So, but yeah. So when you do the next fundraiser, whatever it is, just send me a link, send me a whatever, and I will share the hoo-hoo out of it. So because, like I said, it's for me. If you don't, like, I know you said you don't para-unity is something it's been abused. The word has been abused and taken advantage of, and
yes.
It is the most important thing is respect. And I think that for me, somebody who's not in the paranormal field, I'm just me, I'm just Darlene, I'm just Mama D. I think when I see people sharing, that's what I think is the best thing. And the idea of sharing stuff is respect. You're showing respect. Like, I have big respect for you guys because of what you do. Not just who you are, but what you do. Because you do things, some crazy ass things, but for a good cause. And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm like, people who shave their head. I love my red hair. I had it cut once. Somebody said, "Why don't you donate it?" I didn't think of it at the time, but I won't shave my head for it, unless, of course, it hits that close to home that it's a necessity for me. I would consider it a necessity to shave my head, but I don't have the head for shaved head.
I've done that.
Well, see,
I've shaved my head.
You look cute bald. There are some people who look adorable bald. I have who Eric says para-unity is like the union for spirit workers. Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah. It's just we like to use the term. We changed it to where we say para-respect
I don't
because
say para to anything. It's like saying paradrama.
Yeah,
whatever.
We think that there's a way, if you're going to disagree, like say, Mama, you put up a picture that you capture on an investigation, and just because, say, I'm a photographer and I know that what happened, you didn't get rods of light, it was where your shutter speed was off, or whatever. Instead of saying and oh, you know what, you're stupid, I can't believe you put that out there, you need to learn your equipment before and berating them. Yeah. Just let it go, or say it like an adult.
Yeah, or say it in a private message. Yeah, right. Exactly. And people don't have to get along.
People are not going to get along.
People don't have to agree on everything. I have one friend on my Facebook, and a lot of people don't like him. And Facebook has put him in Facebook jail many, many times because people have reported him or whatever. But I like him. But not everybody has to like each other. But I respect him for what he did, what he does, but a lot of people don't because he did some stupid shit. Well, you know what? Stupid shit was then, and now the person that I know still does stupid shit, but I think it's funny.
Right.
And I
We all
respect
do.
him for stuff. Yeah, but I respect him for what he does, and sometimes you got to get past things, but some people can't. Ooh,
Yeah,
somebody
we
in the
all do
kitchen.
stupid shit. I do a lot of it, and I'm going to continue to do it. And if anybody gets offended by it, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. There's a million ways to work with
Oh, I
spirit.
love that, Eric.
Yeah.
He says a million ways of working for spirit. No wrong way. Just different ways of getting it right.
Yep, exactly. So long as you all end up at the same place at the end, that's what counts.
Right. So what? That I turned left at the fork and had to go the long way around, and Jay went straight through, and Eric went to the right.
Jay
We all
ducked his
ended
head
up
and
at the
plowed
same
through.
spot.
Exactly.
Jay ducked his head and plowed through like a bulldozer.
Right.
Jay's like a bull in a china shop.
Yes, I am. I in fact, we go any places that's got breakable things in it. We have a lovely shop up here in Yellow Springs, Ohio. It's called shit, my mind just went blank.
House of Ravenwood?
Yes, House of Ravenwood. It's a metaphysical shop. Absolutely wonderful things in there. Very nice things. And some of them are very breakable. So I usually stand at the door or outside.
Yeah, he says, I'll be
shop.
waiting out here for you, Teresa.
Yeah, I'll go in, I'll walk around just a little bit, and then I get my bahunkus outside because there's breakable things in there.
Yep.
And I'm 50 years old, and I think I'm at shop with my mom, and I'm a kid. I walk around the store with my hands in my pocket.
He puts his hands in his pockets, you
Don't
guys.
touch that, don't touch that.
He truly does.
Well, he'd be like one of the little kids at where I work, where I have my day job. There's all the little kids who want to touch everything because they put things at candies and gums at kids' eye level, so they want to touch everything. And I have to sit there and go, We look with our eyes, not with our hands.
Right.
And Jay is one of the, look with your eyes, not with your hands, from 4 feet away, please.
When our son was about 2.5, 3 years old, I took him to the drugstore to get, I don't remember what we were getting. We ran into the drugstore, which is next to the grocery store. We ran in there and grabbed something. I was paying for it. And then in the counter, he's shorter than the counter is, and all the candy and stuff was right there. His perfect height. And as a parent, I did not pay attention, as much as I should have. We go to walk out, and I grab his hand, and we're walking, and I look, because we're going to the grocery next, and I look at him, and he's got, they used to have this little thing of candy, like a paint can with a paintbrush in it, and it had like dry powdered sugar stuff in it, and he was holding that, and I was like, oh my God, where did you get that from? He's like, in there. It was, but he just picked it up. And I just was so upset over this. And he started crying. Broke down sobbing. I made him take it right back into the store, tell them that he was sorry. And he's like, here, he's just beside himself. And I'm like, you just wait. When we get home, you have to tell your daddy what you did. No.
He was hard on his mom. Was.
I was hard on him on that one. So we're down there, and he's giving this candy thing to the lady, and she goes, honey, that's okay, you can keep it. And I looked at her and I said, absolutely not.
Yeah, you're not teaching
I said, we're not teaching him that. I said, he does not steal. She says, well, we shouldn't have had him down there, and it's really a problem. I said, no. I said, he needs to learn not to take what's not his.
You can't make excuses for it.
Right. So we get home, and Hunter goes in the house, and he's trying to talk to his daddy, and he's just sobbing uncontrollably. And Jay's like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, tell him, Hunter. Tell him what you did. Now, I'm talking to my little kid. Like I would talk to someone. Go ahead, Hunter. Tell Daddy what you did. Go ahead. You know you did wrong, but you tell. And Jay's like, for the love of God, just somebody tell me what happened. So he finally tells Jay, and Jay looks at like, okay, that's it. All this.
A child made a mistake. He had one lesson. But Angel K, hey lady, a child made a mistake, and he learned his lesson from it. But to me, you can overcorrect sometimes, and luckily I was raised.
He never stole anything again.
No, he never stole anything again. But there's a point to where when you're trying to, and it's the same thing with this whole para-unity thing, like when we talked about that a little bit ago. There's you can overcorrect somebody, and where you become no longer that you're trying to be a help, you become a hindrance because now you're being degrading someone, no matter whether it's the Pope, the President, the poorest man on the street. Everybody deserves some form of respect until they prove otherwise that they don't deserve that respect. It's just common courtesy to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple old person, how I am.
The story you just told reminded me of when it just, I don't remember it because it was my brother, thankfully, not me. But when we were younger, I'm younger than him, so I didn't do this. When we were younger, my mother used to shop at one grocery store, and she used to go during the week, and they'd put it on the bill, and she paid at the end of the week. That was back in the day when you could do this shit. But my brother went in one day, and he took a 6-pack of Coke. And as he's walking through the laneway home, he's giving up to his friends. He gets home, he's got the 6-pack of Coke and one bottle of Coke left. And my mother goes, "Where did you get that?" And he says, "The grocery store." And I said, how'd you pay for it? "I just took it like you do." And my mother made him go back down the laneway and get back all the bottles. And of course, all the other bottles were empty except for my brother's. And the owner of the store, nice little Italian man, said, "Oh no, it's okay. You can." And my mother looked at him, gave him this look, and he's like, "Okay, don't do it again, Bradley." The look my mother gave him was like, and then my brother got grounded for whatever, but yeah, it's sometimes we do things without realizing, things. You open your mouth sometimes and you don't realize what comes out of it until after you shut it, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I should not have even opened my mouth, and it's too late. I can't take it back now.
Mm-hmm. You can sort of see the words flying out, going, no, okay, done. Been there, done that.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah,
it's
but
out there.
You know what? I usually stand by most of the stuff I say. I love to do my Facebook Lives in the morning, and sometimes I sit there after and I'll listen to it and I go, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't put it that way. Maybe I shouldn't have done that in my work uniform." The heck with it, I'm done.
Yep.
But
yeah, it was done.
Exactly, because it's all done in the right sense. You just you have to learn how to sometimes. We have somebody on listening, and I don't know if they want to come on the air if you have a question. So if I should unmute them and see. You guys mind if I try this out?
I don't care. Bring it.
Okay. The area code is 417. I'm going to unmute you. If you have something to say or add, then go for it. Hello.
Hi.
Do you have something? Hi. Did you have a question? Do you want to put in a comment with Jay and Teresa? Nope. They're just listening. So I'll mute you again. There we go.
All righty then. Thanks for listening.
There you go. Thanks for listening. I'm glad. Yeah, that's one thing. People who are in the room as a guest, you can hear the show, you can see the chat, you just can't type in the chat room. Terribly sorry. So sign into Intuit Talks with a name. And for those people who are coming into the chat room who are here for the first time, Angel K, thank you very much for joining us.
Speaking of Angel K, she's an absolute sweetheart. She's also like Gary. She's a very gifted lady. She's been working with us a lot. She doesn't live anywhere near us. She's a few states away, but she's been remoting in and been so accurate and been such a positive influence on some of our investigations in the last few months. And I just want to say thank you, Angel. You've been sweet and nothing but a good help to us. And truly, thank you for all your assistance. You really don't have to, and it is deeply appreciated.
I put in there earlier, her support was really good. Last night, I've started a new, how do I want to word this? Something, a new, I don't know, maybe ability, maybe is how I want to say it, where I can channel. And I'm learning to do it on my terms.
Yeah, you've done it a few times before in the past. You just didn't have control of it. You didn't
I got
know
hijacked.
what you're doing. You're now learning how to focus your energy and keep control of it, where you don't completely lose. Because before she didn't have any recollection of what was said, what was done.
It was like I was asleep.
Asleep, or she was just completely, almost non-existent in that time frame. So she's learning better to control it and use it and stuff, and just allow it to control her, for lack of a better term.
But Angel was, when I did this last night, the spirit was so strong and so insistent that I decided, okay, I'm gonna let this happen. And they did. We got it on. Actually, I think Lee got it on Facebook Live when it happened.
Yeah.
But Angel was in. He did, because Angel was watching in the chat, and she was like, Teresa needs to get rid of all that other energy, because I was overloaded with that spirit's energy.
I'll take it.
So as soon as we were finished, I went outside and I grounded and flipped my shoes off and got in the. Yeah, Angel says I was crawling with it.
Crawling with it.
I got my toes in the ground and it just stood there and did the whole grounding, and it really helped me. But that was an intense.
I don't know. I went out.
Situation anyway.
I went out of the room.
We had there was a man there.
Did you?
No, I didn't know you didn't. Yeah. Why?
I usually do leave the room when you start channeling.
Why?
Because of my protectiveness, because of who it is. It's you.
Oh.
And now something's speaking through you, and that means that you're not that much in control of you, and something else is trying to take control. And I know my energy level, and with my ADHD and the energy that I exude. Anyway, you guys always say like I'm being around for people who've got abilities.
Energizer bunny.
Being around an Energizer bunny, that I really exude a lot of energy. And I know that I'm going to kick into more of a defensive mode, and that's not exactly what you want going on. I know that Rick was there, Lee, Patty, and all them were there, so I knew that you were safe physical-wise. So if you really want to have this experience, you really want to do this endeavor, me being there, me being overbearing or being overprotective is not going to give you the results that you want. In fact, it might actually put the spirit into defense, in my opinion, because I would be defensive if somebody's overbearing to me. And now is that spirit going to get overbearing back and get defensive, and that puts you in the middle as a pawn. That could actually cause you harm.
Okay, I get.
So if you have a possible situation where somebody's going to be aggressive, aggression is always met with aggression. So if you have a possibility of somebody being aggressive, you need to take that out of the situation. You need to take that energy away. And this time it happened to be me. I was the aggressor, and the possibility of being the aggressor one or being the defensive one. So I made myself out of that situation.
Yeah, I didn't know that you left the room. I had no idea.
That keeps the energy at level at what it was. I've learned by listening to you guys. Even though I don't have abilities, I understand the whole concept of energy and energy transfers and all that other things. Right. So being educated about it now, I understand the fact that sometimes my energy is the problem energy, and I need to take myself out of that situation for the protection of the people there, or also for the activity level that's going on. How many times you guys have activity going on in the room and stuff and have interaction with the spirit? I walk in, it just goes completely, for lack of a better term, it goes dead.
Yeah, you're like a paranormal cooler.
Yeah, so this sometimes it is my approach and is a personality that I have, and I've learned that. So sometimes I need to take myself out of the situation for the good of the environment and for the good of the experiment and for the good of the investigation. Know your limits, accept your limits, and work within those.
All right, I can accept that. I just didn't know you did it.
Practice what I preach.
Now, one of the things I've learned as having Eric Glenn as a friend, when you say normally you don't allow spirit to take full control over you, but this time you did. What you normally do is what Eric calls it overshadowing, because he does that with Teddy, because Teddy has a foul mouth, has a potty mouth, and sometimes potty mouth is not meant to happen in certain readings and certain instances. So he overshadows, where he'll allow Teddy to talk, but he'll also be able to, if Teddy wants to say the F word, and Eric will channel another word. He'll just use another word. So yeah, but so that's interesting, the new channeling thing. But you also started something else. I remember one of your shows you were saying you did automatic writing.
Yeah, that's something that's I'm finding that the more that I'm using my gifts, the more that I'm being given. I've done automatic writing now just a couple of times, And when I do that, the first time I did it, I kind of knew what I was doing. But then the second time I did it, and it was at the 101, I didn't realize what I was doing. And it happened to be one of our investigators' spirit guide that I was channeling. And I was writing out. I guess I can say what I wrote. His guide was in the military with him, and his guide passed away.
Okay.
So now the guy is with him. So I drew what had happened. I drew the insignia from the unit that he was in. And I can barely draw a stick person.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
But
Eric's
it was
grandmother
really.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it was really different because there was things that I had no clue about. Or the investigator that was with us said that was he knew who it was immediately when he saw what I was writing.
Okay.
And he hadn't told me this. I just kind of picked up on it and just started writing, and it was different. But I'm learning to say, this is up to me. This is my body, my vessel.
Yeah.
I'm in control.
Yeah.
The first time I did it, I was hijacked, and it scared the crap out of everybody because they were.
I wasn't there. I was downstairs, and everybody came, and our good friend Kelly Sherrill's with you. She comes out and goes, Jay. And actually, the first one was Tracy and them.
Yeah.
Like, Teresa's doing it again. Doing it. I was like, doing what? Like, she wasn't there, and she was talking weird. I'm like, she is married to me, But yeah, and the second time she did the same thing. She was actually, she didn't remember, and Kelly was with us, and we was at the Rose Hotel and stuff, and it kind of freaked her out. And Kelly's absolutely, she used to be the resident paranormal person for the Stanley Hotel for several years. So it's not like she's new to this and doesn't know what she's doing. She's very involved with paranormal and very involved with energy and energy work and stuff. So for her to kind of come down in this, it was impressive. It was like, holy crap, okay, if Kelly's kind of nervous about it, I should be concerned as hell.
Yeah, that's when Big Daddy Jay comes up and it's like protector and.
I get that comes out of me quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hello, it's Teresa. She's the woman who puts up with you day in and day out.
I keep saying that I'm going for my sainthood.
There you go. Saint Teresa. Hey, it's true. It fits.
That's right. When I was in high school, my nickname was Mother Teresa.
Oh.
Because not that I was that good of a person.
Okay.
But I was better than most of the people that I ran around with. I didn't do the stuff that they did. They did it. Okay. I was there. I didn't do what they did.
Mm-hmm.
With the guys I used to ride with, all the guys, my riding buddies and stuff, they all called her Mother Teresa because she thought she was a saint for putting up with my crazy ass.
Agreed. I mean, true. Okay.
No, you can agree with that. It's the truth. I don't have a problem with it.
But the thing is, there has to be. Okay, here's a question that I thought of earlier, and it just popped back into my head. Teresa, what is Jay's weakness? Besides you, what is his weakness? What is his kryptonite? That you can talk about it on air. Right?
He hates the thing that absolutely sends him into a tizzy is to be lied to. Mm-hmm. Don't lie. That just sends him, and don't steal. If you want it, we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Both of those things.
I wouldn't think those are my kryptonite.
Oh, I would. Those send you straight over the edge.
But they don't stop me from going on. Kryptonite would be something completely, in my opinion.
If somebody were to hurt me or Hunter.
She said, okay, besides you and Hunter, it would have to be family and friends.
Yeah.
I take it very personal if you mess with my family and friends, and
Yeah.
and I don't mean if you mess with them, you're going to have disagreements. It's like my niece when she started dating this young man. He was a nice young man, but I asked him flat out when we first met him. I'm like, just exactly what is your intentions with my niece? He's like, oh, blah blah blah. And I'm like, look, you guys are going to have disagreements. You're going to have arguments. You're going to have debates. You're going to have whatever you want to call it. And I get that. And I respect that. And you have that right to that. You have your opinion. I get that. But I looked at her at the same time and I said, know the flag's out that you will not go any further than that. Either one of you ever hurt the other one, I will have an issue. You don't lay hands on one another. Don't take it to that level. If you can't resolve it verbally, then get the hell away from one another and settle down and cool down or whatever. I can't stand to see anybody disrespected. Like I said earlier, I don't give a crap if you're the Pope, the President, or the poorest man on the street. I greet everybody with a smile. I greet everybody with a handshake. Everybody deserves to be talked to like a human being, living or dead. I can't handle people be disrespected. I have fought every bully I've ever met. I'm 50 years old and I'll still fight them today if I find somebody bullying somebody. I don't have a problem with that. If you want to be like that, then somebody needs to be that way to you. You need to experience what you're dishing out. I always say karma's a bitch, and that's why I always get people. They're looking for the wrong thing. Karma's somebody just like me. There's tons of us all around the world. We will bring you what you bring to others. You harass and pick on others, we'll harass and pick on you. Everybody deserves to be given what you're given. You give out good, you get good. You give out bad, you're going to get bad back.
Exactly.
That's your fault. That's what you get. What you put into the world.
Very true. Very true. Agreed.
Pretty simple. Country boy, redneck, whatever you want to call it. Old-fashioned.
A sweetie. How's that?
And Supernatural Radio just asked a question in the room about, I wonder, do they feel any affinity to the Ed and Lorraine Warren affinity?
Mm-hmm. I love Ed and Lorraine Warren. I respect them. I wish that I would have gotten to know them. I know Ed's passed away, and there is their nephew, John Zaffis, is a friend of ours. We've actually worked with him for a little bit. Ed comes through to another friend of mine all the time for messages with messages to John, which is I find that amazing. But we don't do anything
like they
do.
No.
Yeah. I know my limitations, and that is way beyond my pay grade. That's the really good thing about networking and expanding your friend base and learning who does what. If there is something that we come up on in a case that we're uncomfortable with, that maybe we feel might be the big D word, we have people that we can call and say, hey, we need help on this. This is above me. Can you help out? And they know that if we were to call them, that it's serious. It's serious because we don't do
cry
that.
Wolf.
No.
I don't cry wolf. I don't. And I'm pretty much. But like I said, if I'm going to say, we were at Randolph County Asylum here in Indiana not too long ago, and everybody's heard about crawlers, the ones that look like the shadows, look like they're crawling around the ground like out of the grunge or whatever. I actually approached one, got down on my knees right in front of it, and opened my arms to it, and said, "You can come approach me." But I didn't feel threatened. And to me, a lot of people take away from this is their experience is exactly what they want to. If you're afraid of it, then of course you're going to say it was something bad. You allow your fears and superstitions a lot of times to dictate what you're going to do. That's what I said earlier about living life. It's the same thing with me with the paranormal. I don't have that fear because I've already made peace with what could be. I know the fact of my own mortality. So I don't have the fear of that. So I approach things in a lot different aspects. Do you need to be guarded? Do you need protected? Absolutely. Do you need to use common sense and stay safe? Absolutely. And if you feel like you're unsafe, you feel like you're in a bad situation, get the hell out. Don't push it. Because trust me, if I ever get in that situation, I will. I'm out. If I were Amityville Horror, I would walk into a house, the first time I'm like, I'm like Eddie Murphy. Oh, it's a nice place here. We really love the house. Get out. Too bad we can't stay. Gotta go. I'm not going to have some demonic thing talk to me like that. I'm gone. Now, if it's some kind of grumpy thing, you need to get out of here. No. if I really think it's a demon and stuff like that, then I'm out. I know my boundaries. I'm not afraid to admit it. I just don't know about them physically yet, or mentally.
Yeah. And I think that's what I like about you guys and a lot of the team that you guys hang around with that I got to listen to, because I do listen to your show. So if anybody has got nothing to do, I believe it's before we get too close to the end of the time, Sit Chat and Laugh with the Lynches is on the Monday evening on paramaniaradio.com. You all know I love that station. What time, guys?
7 to 9.
7 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. So don't be late. Be there. Is you do have the respect of the people that you speak to on your show, but you have the respect of the different people who you may not have worked with them, you may not have connected with them, but you can see when they talk about you, there is that. Night, Eric. Night, Teddy. There is that respect that they know that, it's like you're not going to try and overshadow somebody with like, I'm good, I'm better with, it's like you play a good game, but you also play a respectful game. And people know that.
That means a lot to hear you say that. To me, that's very, very humbling, very grounding, because that means more to me than anything to not only have the respect that I give to others, have it given back to me. That's right. And a lot of people get egotistical about that, but I'm the exact opposite. To me, that grounds me. That brings me back down to realize that people do recognize me for who and what I am, and not what they think I could be or should be. And that's grounding. That's very humbling.
But to me, it should be obvious. That's okay. That's one of the reasons why I do what I do with this show, is because I'm not going to ask a total Goonie bird to be on the show unless there's something good about him. Hello, Jay.
Right?
There you go. The best part about Jay is Teresa. That's the only reason I want you on the show, is because I have got to have Jay, so I get Teresa.
Well, that's why I tell people all the time, like, when I would go to places she's not with me, I'm like, well, where's your better half? I'm like, she's got to be my better half, because you actually imagine a worse half to me? And everybody's like,
No, right?
Yeah. Find the worse half to me. I dare you.
He says that, and everybody they almost start panicking.
There you go. No, but I pay attention. Like, I do pay attention to what you guys talk about on the show, but I also pay attention to the chat that goes on. And it's like I said, it's a respectful thing. Sometimes the side chat is more interesting. Not more interesting than the show, but
sometimes
yes, it is. Sometimes it is.
Sometimes the chat room, as you've been doing this for quite a while now too, but sometimes the chat room actually dictates the conversation more than what the interviewer and the interviewee do sometimes, because that interaction is so important.
It is, because if things are, because like I have this weird thing where if I cannot get along with somebody, I have to have a conversation with you before I get on the show, before I get on the show with you. You guys, I didn't have to, because it's like knowing you in the listening to your show, but also watching the chat. It's like there's no frills with you guys. You are who you are. The frills are part of what you are, and as crazy as they are, it's the best part of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It really does. I'm actually, if I had a little bit of, I should be blushing right now. I really don't know what to say. I'll just shut up. I don't take compliments where.
Damn,
I
made him
really
shut up.
don't.
No.
I really don't. It gets me every time when people compliment me like that. I've never taken compliments well. I probably never will. I'm just Jay. I'm just doing my thing, man.
Jay, it takes a while. I used to do that when people be like compliment me. It's like, no, not really, deflect it. But I also learned, I'm just a couple of years older than you, and I only, as I say, came out of my spiritual closet when I was 50 years old. So you got to catch up with me eventually, sometime. Who knows?
I will.
But it does. It gets easier. It gets easier.
Well, it's like Jennifer put in there, have integrity, stay humble, keep it real, 100%. I agree with that 100%. Those statements could never be more true statements, in my opinion. And it doesn't matter what you're doing at all.
No, and that's. But the thing is, there are people that don't, and that's what I love about you guys and a lot of my friends is that there's BS because it's fun, but there's no real BS that you just want to walk away from somebody.
We could get in some BS because just remember, like I said, my family is from Ireland, and I don't think one of them kissed upon so I think one of them slept with it, and I'm still got that old Irish adage that never let the truth get in the way of a good story, as long as it's a story that you're telling and not a truth that you're telling.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yes. And when you do get to go over to Ireland, I do have a few friends over in Ireland that I'll make sure that they figure out how to you can connect with them, and you never know, they might be able to get you some interesting places to go and investigate, look around.
That would be amazing.
There's so much to it to me that I would like to go. Teresa's more than an investigation thing. I've been doing a lot of research and study here lately, and doing things with the elementals and the fae folk and the we, and I've just been studying that a lot because of my heritage. It really draws me. Plus, I grew up hunting and fishing and farming and stuff like that, and the outdoors is something that I feel extremely connected to. There's not a place I do out in the woods the same as I do investigating. I don't take a flashlight with me. I don't hunt anymore. I don't take a firearm with me. I hunt with my eyes. I kind of take this spelunking attitude towards everything. Take nothing but memories and leave nothing but footprints. I try to leave no impact on any environment I'm in, whether it's an environment that we're investigating, or whether it's a place I'm hiking or fishing or hunting or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I leave that attitude with everything. Take nothing but memories, leave nothing but footprints, and leave just a part of my energy there and take a part of it with me and love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, Angel, someone said Irish.
Yeah, someone said Irish. And it wasn't Irish whiskey. No. I'll be in the corner in 2 seconds.
Now we're talking last.
There we go. Jay, that reminds me of a tree stump?
Yes.
Angel in the chat room.
She was talking about, not long ago, she was talking about something about trees and things, and so was Brandy. She was talking about both of them hit on the trees, and Teresa didn't know what it was for the longest time.
Oh.
And Angel, I didn't tell you then, but there's a reason why you guys pick up on trees. And when I was younger, me and my dad would take young saplings in the woods when we'd be out hiking or hunting or whatever in the spring. Actually, we was out mushroom hunting, and we would and pick and poke also. And we would take the young saplings and intertwine some of the limbs to them, especially if we had one that had 3 limbs coming out. We would braid them, because later on down the road, if it survives that braiding, you don't tie it too tight, it'll grow together. And you go back and harvest that tree for lumber, that the pattern to the grain is unheard of, that you would never see, because where else do you see where the grain of the tree braids itself together? And it's just things like that was simple. And the Indians used to do those things, the Native Americans did, for marking trails or leaving signals for other people. Most people who didn't know would come there and just saw the tree growing deformed, when it was actually a marker for certain things, whether it be a mineral, whether it be a food source or a salt source or whatever. So it's just things that we always did. And Angel picked up on it first, and we was with Brandy Marie from PO3, and she says, why do I keep seeing trees? Why do I get the trees? That's something I normally never talk about, but like I said, getting involved with this field, I've learned to be a lot more open with people about my life, and I used to be very shut off of that, a very private person. But you guys are actually picking up on one of the people that's the most influences in my life that's no longer with me, and you're picking up with my dad and some of the memories I have there. So, and I haven't been back yet, but I'm going to those spots probably tomorrow, and I'm going to go visit and see if some of those trees are still there. It's time to reconnect with some of my roots that way. And open some wounds. We all got to do that sometimes. Sometimes you have to open a wound to make it heal.
Very true. Very true. And just when you say that you connect with the elementals, and Kay was saying something about the trees, just real quick, the property next to me, when they, it was all trees, and when the landlord sold it, and the first tree that fell I was at work, and I got this sharp pain because I used to go out into the trees and have my quiet time. The first tree that fell, I knew exactly when it fell because I have this pain in my heart area. And it wasn't a heart pain, it was just, like a connection. And I had no idea at the time what it was. And then I got home and I asked my husband, I said, when did the first tree fall? He says about 12:30. Because it actually fell onto my property. And I sort of put two and two together. That's exactly what the pain was. And that night I told my little Fey folks in the trees, they could come and spend some time in my house, which was kind of a mistake. It's sort of because I didn't confine them to an area. They petrified my cat. My cat walked into the bathroom one time and came out. This is before I had a dog. Came out screeching out of the bathroom, and now even to this day, and it's been like 4 years now, that he still walks into the bathroom and looks in the bathtub like as if to say, okay, they're not there anymore. But as you were talking about them, I got this like giant shiver, which to me means that there was a connection. So they're with you for what the connection that I'm getting, and liking you a whole heck of a lot for the amount of shivers that I got.
I that means a lot to me because I do open myself up to them. In fact, when we go investigate anymore, especially locations that think they have something that might be elemental, I actually go in and I do an invocation. I open myself up to it and say, earth below me, air above me, or air above me, water around me, fire that forges me. Make yourself known to me. I'm open to you, and see if they can't come forward. Here at the house, I've been doing little things, leaving trinkets out for them and stuff, letting them know that they're welcome here. They're okay to come here, and they're okay to be around here. And we do put some barriers where they can't come to certain areas of the house and stuff, but I just, it's something of my heritage. It's something that I know that's part of my lifeline. And where I still do some cryptid research sometimes. I got, when I first got involved with that, I had some of the cryptozoologists extremely mad at me, and because I'm not one by any stretch of the imagination, I'm just a researcher, and I love the thought of it. But my opinion is Dogman, Bigfoot, all of them. My opinion is why we don't see them sometimes is that they are a part of the elemental lines, and that until we quit being so damn greedy and destructive on this planet, they won't make themselves known. They're here to protect the planet from when we quit destroying the damn thing. And it offended a lot of them. It really did. They're like, well, you're just making a mockery of it. No, my theory is just as substantial as yours. I'm coming at mine, though, from a more earth-based spiritual side than what you guys are. That's just the difference in it. But they found it as an extreme challenge, and a lot of them don't associate with me anymore. And that's fine, because I'm not, believe it or not, people, I want to get along with everybody. I want to have a lot of fun. I want to learn a lot of things, but I'm not here for anybody's approval. I have my wife's acceptance. I have a lot of family and friends around me that do. So the ones that don't, that's their choice. And I respect them for their choices. Whether they like me or not, it's their choice. Right. I respect their choices.
Agreed. And I do have to agree with Jennifer. You guys can come back anytime. So that we'll talk at a later date and see. Because like you said, you guys are booked. But,
You're on a Sunday afternoon.
2 hours.
We're pretty easy on a Sunday afternoon.
I'm always on Sundays.
Well, we can work this out whenever you want to. Usually Sundays we're home.
Yeah, Sundays is usually our home day.
It's rare that we get home late. We usually home kind of early.
Unless we're coming back from an event, then it might be kind of late.
Yeah.
But
so we'll work something out again. We'll be back. And we're
Absolutely.
so thankful that you had us. Thank you.
It was fun. Like I said, I love going to Paramania Radio. I love to listen to you guys. In a couple of weeks, I'm having Cat Wilder on.
Oh, awesome.
So,
wow.
Oh, yeah. I love listening to her. I watched her do a Facebook Live, and she was like, I was like, can we talk? I hate doing it. I hate doing it when I go to your shows. I was like, because I'm not the type. I don't want to be like, I don't mind being a troll, but I don't want to troll you during your shows. So I'll be like, okay, I'll wait.
Troll me, I dare you.
Go for it.
What you do is you go to my chat room and you put out what nights your shows are on and what time your shows are on. You put that information in our chat rooms. You put it on our Facebook pages. You put it on my Instagram, because if we don't help and support one another, we can't expect others to help and support us. If I'm not sharing your stuff enough, please feel free to share your stuff on our pages. I don't care who's listening. Go to our Hindsight Paranormal pages. Go to my personal page. Go to our Sit, Chat, and Laugh page. Share your show links. I don't care if your show's on at the exact same time as ours. People need choices. Give them a choice. I'm not the only one out there. It's not about us. It's about all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
God,
Thank
my
you
soapbox
very
there,
You
didn't I?
did.
There you go.
Right?
Okay. Good boy. Okay, now breathe. Okay.
I
Thank
can't
you.
help it. I get adamant. There's that ADHD kick in.
It was cool. But it wasn't that bad. I understood everything you said.
And I mean every word I said. Put it on our
Thank you.
pages, even if you're on the same time slot. Does not offend me
It
at all.
doesn't matter. Maybe we're talking about something or talking to a guest that they really don't have that much connection with, but you are, and it's a guest that they're really interested in. You know,
Yeah.
Just because it's the same time slot doesn't mean that there's not enough people to go around.
Hell, if you're having a good enough guest on there and all I got to do is talk with Teresa, I might come listen to you anyway and leave her by herself.
Hang on.
Wait, I want to hear him scream now. Go ahead, smack him.
Wow.
Don't hit on me. I'm a married man.
Right?
Oh, God. All right, we've got about 6 minutes left. So I'm going to say a big fat thank you for agreeing to be a guest with me and allowing me to pick your brain and letting my friends know only a tiny part of who you guys are. And there's so much more. So you will be back together because you're a adorable team. But I'll take you separately, too. So I don't know if I could actually handle Jay all by myself. So I'll ask Eric and I'll ask Eric and Teddy to come on, and then I'll go hide in the corner.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
That would be
and
good.
Anybody sit? Good. Okay, you guys promo your show. Sit, chat, and laugh. Go ahead.
Chat and laugh with the Lynches.
Every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. on paramaniaradio.com. There you can also find us on the live Facebook link when we go live, the Paramania page. Plus, we share it all over the place because we definitely want people involved. Our big thing is like here, like every podcast, don't just listen. Get in the chat room and be a part of the conversations like you guys were tonight. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that.
We love the interaction.
Be a part of the conversation.
Thank you so much, Angel K. That really means a lot.
Because if you don't get involved in the chat room, you're like a bump on a log, and they're cute, but please.
Right. We love interaction. We love the interaction with our people.
Teresa likes it because she don't want to talk to me all the time.
Well, that's true too. I talk to him all the time as it is.
That's more than enough understanding.
Right? Yeah, there was a time period for about a year that
Mama,
we actually...
he's going to come on our show too. So.
Oh, yeah. There's a time period that we actually... we had our home life, plus we actually worked at the same place.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
And there is another show that I'm on Tuesday nights. It's on Twitch TV, but if you get easily offended,
don't do it.
It's called Ramblings of a Maniac.
No, listen, you go. No, it's hysterical. It's awesome. If you get easily offended, you're not in my chat room.
If you get easily offended, do not come on there. Me and my best friend Rick Rose, we do it every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on Twitch TV. It's Ghost Gaming TV, except for the O in Ghost is the number 0. If you get easily offended, we make fun of anything and everything just about. We troll news feeds. We do well. We got one of our things coming up here real soon. Is somebody is sending us each a sucker. It's called the Toe of Satan. It is the world's hottest sucker. It is over 9 million Scovilles. We're going to take the challenge and see which one of us can keep it on our mouth for 5 minutes.
Oh no, you're not.
I know I will use this. It's going to hurt. It's going to suck. We are going to do it live on air. We do have
there's his Facebook or there's his live video.
Yeah, we do live video on that. You can see it. It has a chat room where you can interact. It is a mess. I was doing 2 other podcasts, but I'm down to just those 2 now on Mondays and Tuesdays. So, yeah, join us if you want. But
there
be
is a
aware.
Chip that has the same thing. Have you heard about that nacho chip?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're wanting to get us those chips, too. And I'm like, I don't do hot stuff.
Not at all.
I don't, but yet.
He doesn't do buffalo sauce at like Spreaker or Hooters.
I don't do Frank's hot sauce. I don't do.
Why not? Frank's has got taste.
Because
some hot sauces have no taste. It just burns out yourself. But, you know.
Right.
But
I'm gonna have
Frank's
no
has
flavor.
a nice flavor to it.
To me, it tastes like vinegar and heat, and I don't like the taste of the vinegar to it really that well. The only thing I want vinegar in is my pickles, and they better be dilled.
Damn straight, baby dill.
Clausen.
And Clausen's, yeah, I love Clausen's garlic dill. Oh my god, I'm gonna eat some here in a minute.
I gotta go make supper now. I'm hungry. Well,
Right?
I'm gonna sign off. Everybody, thank you very, very much. You guys are awesome, and yes, we will talk about having you back on.
I'm having you with
And
us.
I will troll you in your. I'll troll you in your shows. Thank you for allowing me to share. Don't
thank you for
do
having
that.
us on.
It's
I
been
double
fun.
dog dare you.
Behave yourself, child.
You know that's not going to happen.
Bless you all. Have a wonderful night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.